Okay, so we're starting up our class, and this class is on digital forensics. And digital forensics, the subject matter we're going to be covering is steganography. If you haven't made an account over at TryHackMe, then you can please go ahead and do that because we're going to be using that platform. Anyways, let's go ahead and start the class. All right, so what are we doing today? We're doing Hacker Frogs After School. So this is digital forensics, and we're learning about steganography today. So if you haven't heard of the word steganography before, that's perfectly fine because it's not a common word, and it's particular to stuff in cybersecurity and in cryptography and stuff like that. So this is the second session. We're going to have about 8 sessions for this particular. There are going to be 8 sessions in this course, and let's go ahead and start. Okay, so welcome to Hacker Frogs After School. Hey there, Hacker Frogs. This is the second Intro to Digital Forensics Basics workshop. In the previous workshop, we talked about the following digital forensics concepts. So let's just do a short little review of what we did in the previous workshop. And we learned about EXIF and image file metadata. So anytime you've got a picture file, you've got some metadata, that is data about the data inside of there. And metadata is the data that provides information about other data. In the context of digital image files, each file has a plethora of metadata information, which is generated when the picture is taken. So it's going to tell you all sorts of information, like when it was taken, what device was used to make it, where it was taken, and a lot of other stuff. So photo metadata, called EXIF, is easily accessible and can reveal information about the device used to take the photo or even GPS location data about where the photo was taken. So the contents of image files. We learned about the contents of picture files and the difference between text and data. Text is computer content that is meant to be read by humans, and data content is meant to be read by computers and software, and it is illegible if not accessed through the proper program or application. So if we were to open up a picture file with our regular word processor, it's not going to be something we can read. And the last thing we learned about in the previous session was about embedded files, and how embedded files can be extracted and examined using specialized software. Okay, so what are we talking about today? We're going to be doing 2 different things. We're going to be learning about 2 different things. The first thing we're going to be learning about is steganography. And in steganography, we're going to be learning about this particular program that we can use to use steganography. It's called the steghide tool. So steganography, it's I frequently misspell steganography as stegranography, but anyways, it's the process of hiding information in another medium. For example, hiding a hidden message in a picture. So when we talk about steganography, we're talking about hiding messages inside of other files. So we got a little taste of something that's similar to steganography in the last class, but we're going to be going more in depth with this particular concept today. So when dealing with digital files, steganography can be used to embed files or messages into different media files like picture files, video files, and audio files. So let's learn more over at tryhackme.com. So we're going to be using a TryHackMe room to learn more about steganography and the steghide program. So log into tryhackme.com and then navigate to the link below. It's going to be task number 4. So let's go ahead and provide that link to everybody in chat. There you go. And if you're wondering what were all of the different links and instructions we're going to be using today, I've got this document over here at the GitHub website. And you can refer to this if you ever get lost. Okay, but anyways, let's go ahead and move over to that room. So let's, where's the link? Okay, here's the link. Okay, so this room is called CTF Collection Volume 1. There's a bunch of different challenges over here, but we're only going to be using one of the challenges inside of this room. So I'm going to illustrate what it looks like when you all come upon the room and you haven't joined the room yet. So each one of these Try-Hack Me rooms, you need to join the room before you can access it. So let's go ahead and let me demonstrate what that looks like. Okay, so the website looks like this. After you've logged in, you should be able to access this page. And when you access the page, this is called CTF Collection Volume 1. There's going to be a green button over here labeled Join Room. So you can't actually access any of the stuff in the room until you join it. So go ahead and click on the green button over here. It's going to be located to the right. It's labeled Join Room. Click on it. And that's going to give you access to all the stuff in the room. So what we're doing today is we're going to be doing task number 4 from this particular room. So what I want you to do after you join the room is I want you to scroll down, and I want you to, if you've got task 1 open over here, you can actually click on the header over here to close out the header over here and then open up task number 4. So task number 4 is labeled Mon, are we going to be okay? So what we want to do is we want to click on that header. So task 4, click on it. And then we got some ads running on on the live stream right now, but it's okay. We're not going to be doing very much. What we're going to be doing is we're going to go up to the top of the room. And after you go up to the top of the room, you should see this little button over here called Start Attack Box. So when we talk about the Try-Hack-Me attack box, the Try-Hack-Me attack box is basically a virtual machine that you can use to interact with and solve these different challenges. So scroll up to the top of the room, and then after you do that, I want you to click on this button over here, Start Attack Box. Oh, and for everybody who's in the Zoom call, let me go ahead and get the link for the YouTube stream if you want to catch the YouTube stream. So let me just go ahead and get that one. Okay, so I'll just leave the link to everybody in Zoom. There you go. But yeah, after you click on the Start Attack Box button, you should see that your browser window splits into 2, and there's a left-hand side and a right-hand side. So the left-hand side is going to be the Try-Hack-Me webpage, and the right-hand side is going to be the attack box interface. So it's going to take about 2 minutes for the attack box to fully start up, but let's just go ahead and wait for that to happen. So if you're having any troubles, please let us know in the chat, and we'll try to help you out, because we don't want anybody to be left behind. And if you have any questions about anything that we're doing right now, you can go ahead and leave that in chat as well. So one more time for anybody who wants to get the link for the room that we're using. The link that we're using for this room is this one right over here. Okay, so everybody, if your attack box has finished initializing, and you know that it's finished initializing when you see a little message over here, just like this. If your attack box is finished initializing, please type in the chat, attack box up, just like this. And that lets me know that that you're ready to go. Okay, all right, that's good, that's good. Great. Okay, so before we start the room, let's talk a little bit about what steganography is. And over here, AD says, it says mine is temporarily down. Mine is temporarily down. Okay, so if for some reason you're getting a strange message from the page, what I want you to do is I want you to reload the web page. So just go ahead and click on the reload button. It's usually in the upper left-hand corner, and it's going to look like a circle with an arrow. Go ahead and reload the page. That might solve the issue. If it doesn't, let us know, and then we'll see what's going on from there. Okay, Manish in the YouTube chat says, hello, Manish, nice to see you here. We're just doing a little class on digital forensics, and we're learning about steganography today. AD says it doesn't help. Okay, so when you go to the top of your TryHackMe webpage, do you see the button that says Start Attack Box? It should be about here. Because my attack box is already started, you're not going to be able to, I can't see it, but it should be below the little icon over here. There should be a button labeled Start Attack Box. Do you see that? Okay, so is your web page split into two parts? Is there a left-hand part and is there a right-hand part? Okay, and what does it say on the right-hand part? Does it say that it's loading up, or does it give you any message? It says it's temporarily down. That's what kind of web browser are you using? Are you using the Firefox web browser? Are you using Google Chrome, or are you using some other web browser? Google Chrome. I'm not sure why you would see a message like that says it's temporarily down. Why don't you try? Tornado says mine is still loading. Okay. All right. So some people are still loading up their attack box. That's fine. I want you to try reloading the page. So try reloading the page again. I think there's a keyboard shortcut. The keyboard shortcut should be F5 to reload the page. Let's see. AD says I terminated it and redid it. Okay, so did restarting the attack box work? Is it loading up for you right now? It's loading up. Okay, that's great. Good to hear. Good to hear that it's working for you. All right. So before we start, let's learn a little bit more about steganography. Where are we? Okay. So we're going to be learning about a little program called StegHide today. And StegHide is a program that can be used to embed files into certain types of picture and audio files. So it's a program that lets you put files into other files, and it's in that way you can hide files. So in reality, steganography, it's I don't know if it's all that widely used, but as a as an educational exercise, this kind of stuff is pretty popular. So it's hiding stuff inside of other stuff. So okay, let's go ahead and go back to the TryHackMe page. And in the TryHackMe page, on the left-hand side, I want you to scroll down until you get to task number 5. Sorry, task number 4. So task number 4, when you click on that, you're going to see this file right here. It's this button right here. It's labeled Download Task Files. What I want you to do is I want you to click on that button, and what should load over here is going to be this picture, and this picture of some dinosaurs over here. What I want you to do is I want you to copy the link for this picture. So click on the link until it's highlighted here. I want you to right-click and select Copy. Select Copy, and then I want you to go back in your browser so you can go back to the TryHackMe page. So after you've done that, what I want you to do is I want you to click on the center of I want you to click on the center of the page. There's going to be this button over here. It looks like a little arrow. It's labeled Hide Show Control Bar. I want you to click on that, and then after you click on it, I want you to click on the little clipboard icon here. So after you do that, you're going to see this clipboard appear over here, this little box. I want you to click into the clipboard field, and then I want you to right-click and select Paste. That's going to paste in the file address for the picture. After you do that, I want you to click on this button over here that hides the control bar. And then I want you to open up the AttackBox's browser. So the AttackBox browser has a Firefox browser. So the AttackBox has a Firefox browser. You can click on this button up here to start up the AttackBox Firefox browser. Okay, that's going to start up the web browser inside of the AttackBox. And I want you to click on the address bar, and then I want you to right click, and I want you to paste in the file address and hit enter. So what this does, it says that it, can I go over this again? Yeah, I'm going to have to go over this again because we need to do this pretty quick. Okay, so we're going to go over to task number 4. Task number 4, click on the download task files. And then I want you to quickly click on the address bar, select copy, and then click on the back button in your browser. And then inside of your AttackBox interface here, I want you to click on the button here. Click on the button here, click on the clipboard, click into the clipboard, paste in the file address, hide the clipboard, then in the AttackBox browser, highlight whatever is there already, and then select paste and go. And then you should be able to see the dinosaur picture inside of your web browser. If you manage to successfully see the dinosaur picture inside of your AttackBox web browser, please type in the chat, "I see the dinosaurs." Smiley face. So it's you do need to do it kind of quick because the file is going to expire in just a little bit. If for some reason you get the message that says that the file is expired, I want you to go and I want you to repeat the process again. Okay, so we see some people seeing the dinosaurs. That's great. If you don't see the dinosaurs, and are having trouble, please let me know. So let me demonstrate the process one more time for the people who might be having a little bit of trouble. So you want to go over to task 4 in the TryHackMe page. You want to click on the download task files button. You want to click on this button. And then when you see the dinosaurs here, I want you to click into the address bar and highlight everything. Select copy. Then go back in the browser. AD says mine isn't working. AD, did your AttackBox load up eventually? So after you copy the file address, and go back, you want to click into the control panel, click on the clipboard, paste into the clipboard, then close the clipboard, go to your AttackBox Firefox browser, paste in the address, hit enter, and then you should be able to see the dinosaurs over here. AD says, it says failed to connect to server. Failed to connect to server. Which, does it say failed to connect to server on the right hand side of the screen? Okay, so I want you to try reloading the page. Try reloading the page and see if that fixes the problem. If it doesn't fix the problem, then I want you to terminate the machine, and then try again. Okay, so to everybody else, what I want you to do now is I want you to save the file. So this is the image file we're going to be working with today. I want you to right-click on it and then select Save Image As. So right-click, Save Image As, and then I want you to click on the Save button over here. So you should see this little menu here. You just want to go down to the bottom right and click on Save. Okay? So after that, we're going to minimize our web browser. So the minimize button should be over here. So there's the X, there's the restore window button, and then the minimize window button. Oh, okay. So AD says, now it says non-subscribed users can only deploy the free attack box for 1 hour a day. Subscribe for unlimited access. Okay. AD, if you have another email address you can use, then you can make another account over at TryHackMe, and then log in with that account and try to repeat the process. But otherwise, you could watch the class and then try again the next day. But if you want to do it right now, you can try using another email address to make another account over at TryHackMe. Okay, so to everybody else, you want to click into the terminal over here in the attack box and hit enter. That's going to close out this window. And then after you do that, you want to click on the terminal icon over here. So double click the terminal icon, and that's going to start up a Linux terminal for the attack box. Okay, after you do that, I want you to move into the downloads directory. So move into the downloads directory by doing this command, cd downloads. And then after you do that, if you do the ls command to list out all of the files, there should be this file in the downloads directory. It's called extinction something something something.jpg. Okay, so let's see. Could you repeat the process after saving the image? All right, let me demonstrate that one more time. Let's see. AYD asks, can you go back and slow down a little bit? Oreobite is here in Twitch. Thank you for coming by, Oreobite. Hello, nice to see you here. I'm just teaching a little class. AYD says, can you go back and slow down a bit? So when you say go back, have you managed to, are you looking at the dinosaurs? So let me demonstrate what this looks like. So the dinosaurs are over here in the Firefox browser. So after you do that, and you see the dinosaurs, you want to right click on the image and select Save Image As. So right click, Save Image As, and then I want you to click on the Save button over here. So click on the Save button, and that's going to save the file. After you do that, you can minimize the Firefox browser, and then you can start up the terminal. So starting up the terminal is going to start up the Linux terminal that we can use. So you can double click the terminal icon over here. If you don't see the desktop, what I want you to do is I want you to click into the window that's there and then hit the enter key. And that's going to close that terminal window. After that, you can click on the terminal icon in the desktop. And what I want you to do then is I want you to do this command to go into the downloads directory. So it's cd space downloads. So type that in, hit enter. And then you should see this file in here. It's called extinction something something something.jpg. If you can see this file inside of your terminal, please type in the chat, I see the JPEG file. Smiley face. Okay, and if you can't see the JPEG file, let's see. User A says, after typing CD download, what do you do? So after you type CD download, well, it should be downloads with an S, and then you do the ls command to take a look at the contents of the directory. So just type ls and then enter, and you should see two files in here. So one of the files should be this one right here called extinction something 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 .jpg. So if you can see that, then you're at the right place. If you're having trouble, let us know. Let us know, and we'll try to help you out. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to try to get a hidden file out of this JPEG file, and we're going to do it with the steghide command. So steghide is the program that lets you do steganography, which is basically hiding files inside of other files. Let's see, user A says, I typed in ls and it gave me a bunch of different options. I typed in ls and it gave me a bunch of different options. That shouldn't be the case. So first you need to, user A, when you type pwd, it should say root downloads. If it doesn't say root downloads, let me know, okay? So the pwd command in Linux lets you know which directory you're in. It stands for print working directory, and it lets you know which directory you're working inside the Linux system. Okay, but for everybody else, so what we want to do is we want to inspect this file by using the steghide program. So the command we're going to give is, let's see, user ID says, I tried a whole new email and it says failed to connect to server. It says failed connect to server. AYD says, how do I type the orange coding? You don't need to type the orange coding. This is what we're going to do. So we're going to type in the name of the command we're going to use, and that's steghide. So steghide is the name of the program. After that, give a space, and then type in the word info, and then another space. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to type out the name of the file over here. It's capital EX, but after you type the letters capital EX, we can autocomplete the name of the file by using the tab key on your keyboard. So the tab key is going to be on the left-hand side of the keyboard, and it's going to be underneath the escape key. So when you hit the tab key, it's going to autocomplete the name of the file, and then after you do that, I want you to hit enter. So the full command is steghide space info space extinction something something .jpg. AYD says, how do we get the file into the internal coding text box? Internal coding text box. So user A says, what do you do after EX? So this is, so after you type the letters EX, you can hit the tab key on your keyboard. So the tab key on the keyboard is going to be on the left-hand side, and it's going to be underneath the escape key. So it's going to be underneath the escape key. Hit the tab key, and it's going to autocomplete the name of the file. After you do that, hit enter to give the command. User A says it didn't do anything. That's odd. So if the autocomplete doesn't work, you're going to have to type out the name of the file, and it's going to be a bit of a pain. EXTIN_1577976250757.jpg. So give this command. It's going to ask us, try to get information about embedded data. You're going to type Y for yes, and it's going to ask you for a passphrase. So there's no actual passphrase associated with this file, so you just need to hit the enter key. So it's going to say that there's an embedded file called finalmessage.txt. Okay, so AYD said, how do we get the file into the internal coding text box? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Are you talking about this window right here? Because this window right here is called the terminal. And did you download the file? So okay, let me demonstrate one more time. So we went to the Firefox browser and we managed to paste in the picture and access the picture. Then we did right click and save image as. So we clicked on save down here to save the file to the downloads directory. So after we did that, we clicked on the terminal shortcut over here. And then we moved into the downloads directory with this command, cd downloads. So make sure that the D is capitalized, and make sure that there's an S there. After that, if you do the ls command, you should see the ls command to list out the directory contents. You should see that there is an extinction.jpg file in here. Okay, so everybody, the next command after that is to use the steghide command. So steghide space info space ex. So you should be able to hit the tab key on your keyboard to autocomplete the name of the file, so you don't have to type out all these numbers. After you do all of that, hit enter. And it's going to say try to get information about embedded data. You want to type Y for yes, and you want to hit enter when it asks you to enter the passphrase. So after that, you should see this message here that there's an embedded file called the finalmessage.txt. If you manage to get this message here, please type into the chat, I see the message, smiley face. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, the passcode. So user Volcano asks, what was the passcode? There's no passcode, just hit the enter key and you should be able to see this. So when it says enter passphrase, hit enter. Okay, so the next step is to extract the message. So let's talk about this a little bit. So steghide, we're using this program to get hidden messages. So the first thing we did was we used the info command. If we use the steghide command with the info function, we can see if there are any embedded files in the media file. Okay. So this is steghide info and then the name of the file. And then we see there's an embedded file called finalmessage.txt. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to extract the file from this particular image. If we use the steghide command with the extract function, any embedded files will be extracted and copied to the current directory. So the command is going to be steghide space extract space -sf space and then the name of the file. So let's go ahead and do that in tryhackme. So tryhackme here, okay. So the command is going to be steghide one more time and then extract. Steghide extract space and then -sf. So this indicates what the stego file is. And in this case, the stego file is going to be ex. And then remember, you can hit tab to autocomplete the name of the file. And then after you've done that, you can hit enter. It's going to ask you to enter the passphrase. So there's no passphrase, you can just hit enter. And then it says wrote extracted data to finalmessage.txt. So after you've done this command and you type ls to list out the directory contents, you should see that there's a file called finalmessage.txt in the directory. So if you see that file in the directory, please type out final message smiley face in the chat. Okay, so what have we done so far? So we downloaded an image and then we tried to figure out if there was some sort of hidden information in the image by using the steghide info command over here. So we found that there is something in there. So we use steghide one more time to extract the information from the file. Okay, and the final thing we need to do is we need to read this message over here. So we can read the message in Linux by using this command cat. So it's cat and then the name of the file. So you can start typing out fin, which is the start of this file name, and then hit tab to autocomplete the file name. So after you do that, you can hit enter, and then you get this message here. It's going to be over soon. Sleep, my child. And then we get the flag. This is the objective of this. This is the objective of the exercise. So you know that something is a flag in cybersecurity when it's got some sort of little message at the front, and then it's got another thing inside these squiggly brackets over here. So what I want you to do is I want you to copy the content of the flag over here, and then right-click, and then copy. Then go over to the control panel. In the control panel, open up your clipboard, and you should see the flag content here. Dagger on YouTube says, waving hand. Hello, Dagger, nice to see you. Okay, and then you want to close the clipboard, and then go over to task number 4. So in task number 4, it says, it is sad, feed me the flag. So just keep in mind this is task number 4. If it's not open, go ahead and click on task number 4, and that's going to open it up. So click in the in the submission field, and then paste in the flag, and then click on submit. Okay, so everybody, if you managed to get the flag and then copy it over to TryHackMe, please let us know by typing in flag submitted in chat, okay? Okay, so everybody, there are ads running on Twitch right now, so I'm gonna play an ad on YouTube as well, and we're gonna take a little opportunity to have a little break. We're gonna have a little break while the ads run on YouTube and on Twitch. And in the meantime, I'm gonna show you some of my favorite birds. So this is one of my favorite birds over here. Oh, that's a really big guy. Hold on. Need to make the window smaller. Okay, so we're just going to take about a minute break, and yeah, enjoy the bird footage. I'm just going to have a little water break because I've been talking for a long time. So this is a bird that is that is resident to my area over here, and it loves peanuts. It loves peanuts. It loves shaking those peanuts around. And we're just going to put the birds away, and let's go on and continue with the lesson. All right, so I see that a few people have submitted their flag. To the people who didn't get to submit their flag, let us know what part of the lesson where you got stuck, and we'll try to go back and help you catch up. Because we really don't want anybody to be left behind if we can help it. Jelena on YouTube says, "I love these birds. They're so cute." Yeah, they're very cute birds. I like them. I like them a lot. Okay, so if there are no if nobody needs any help, well, we're going to move on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to embed our own message into the file, and let me demonstrate how to do that. So let's try hiding a file. So we're going to use the current TryHackMe attack box terminal to embed a new file into the dinosaur picture file with steghide. So when we use steghide to embed a file into a picture file, we can break down the command like this. So there are a bunch of different parts to this command. We're going to go through this slowly just so we understand what's going on. So we're going to use steghide with the embed command. Then we're going to provide a file that's going to be embedded into, which is going to be the JPEG file. So this is going to be the extension file. And then we're going to give a passphrase. So we want this one to be more secure than the last one. And we need to specify a file that we're going to embed into the picture file. And we're going to create that file right now. Okay, so back in TryHackMe, let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay, hopefully you can read all this. What we're going to do is we're going to create a little file with this command right here. So it's going to be echo and then some double quotes. So inside the double quotes, we're going to leave a little message. And the message is going to be, the secret is HackerFrog's rule, exclamation point. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to redirect this and make a little file called secret.txt. So if you're wondering what the command looks like, I'm going to paste it in the chat. Just so you can see what this command looks like. So remember, when we give this command, we need to use this greater than sign over here. So the greater than sign is going to be the shifted version of the period, and after you do that, you're going to see a file called secret.txt has appeared in the directory when you do the ls command. Okay, so after that, we're going to give the command that embeds the file. So the command is going to be steghide space embed space, and then it's going to be -cf, and cf is the cover file. So the cover file is is going to be the picture file that we're going to embed into, and it's the extension.jpg file. Remember, you can type in the first two letters and then hit tab to autocomplete the name of the file. So after that, we're going to give, let's see, what is the... okay. So EF is going to be the name of the file that we're going to embed. So embed file -ef with secret.txt. So -ef secret.txt. And the last thing we need to do is we need to set a password for this. So the password, or -p, that's going to be password 123. Okay, so this is what the command looks like in its entirety. And you should see that when we give the when we inspect this with steghide again, steghide info, it's going to ask us try to get information about the embedded data. We press Y for yes. We're going to need to put in our passphrase now. So the passphrase is what we set right over here, password 123. So type in password 123 and hit enter. And then it should say embedded file secret.txt. So if you manage to get this far and you get this information, embedded file secret.txt, let us know in the chat by typing in it's a secret, smiley face. If you're having trouble, let us know. Let's see. AYD says it won't allow me to put in the greater than symbol. Okay, so the greater than symbol is shift and then period. So usually it's the period. If you press shift and then press period, it should show the greater than symbol over here. If you're still having trouble, let us know. So if you ever find that your terminal is a little bit too crowded, you can type in the word clear and then hit enter, and that's going to clear the screen and bring you back up to the top of the terminal. So it shows up as a period. That's strange. So the shift key on your keyboard works, right? Oh, okay. It works now? Yeah? That's great. All right, so go ahead and try this. So the command is going to be this one over here. Remember, if you can press up and down in the terminal, and that's going to get your previous commands. So this is called the terminal history. And the command we use to create the secret.txt file, so it's echo the secret is hacker frogs. Rule exclamation point between these between these double quotes over here. If you don't do the double quotes, it's not going to work. And then do space greater than secret.txt. Okay, and the last thing we do is we're going to extract the secret.txt file again. So before we extract the secret.txt file, we need to delete this secret.txt file. So to delete a file inside of Linux, we do the rm command for remove, and then space secret.txt. After you do that, when you do the ls command, you should see that the secret.txt file is no longer there. Okay, so we're going to extract the file like we did in the previous exercise. So it's going to be steghide space extract space, and then sf space, and then ex, hit the tab key, to complete. Hit enter, and it's going to ask you for the passphrase. Remember, the passphrase we set was password123 with a capital P. So capital P, ASSWORD 123, hit enter, and you should see this message here, wrote extracted data to secret.txt. So if you see this message after giving this command, let us know in the chat. Type in I extracted smiley face. Okay. User A asks, what is the passphrase? So in the previous command, we used this command to embed into, where is it? This command here. We set a password. So we did -p space and then password123. That's the passphrase. The passphrase is capital P ASSWORD 123. Okay, so if you're having trouble during today's exercise, please let me know, because I'm trying to help everybody get to the same place. Okay, so everybody, if you manage to extract the secret.txt file, you can go ahead and read it. So just do the cat command, cat secret.txt. You should see the message that we wrote into the secret.txt file. The secret is hacker frogs rule. Okay? And if you manage to do all of this stuff, let us know by typing in I did all the stuff. Smiley face. Okay, and if you got stuck at some point, AYD says it won't allow me to type the passphrase. So you're doing this right now, right? So you did the steg hide extract -sf extinction something something. When you type in the passphrase, you're not going to see anything. So I'm typing in the passphrase. You don't see anything. This is normal. So just type in the passphrase anyways and hit enter. So when you type in the passphrase, you won't see anything appear. Just type in PASSWRD123. Nothing appears on the screen. This is normal. Just type it in and hit enter. And it should say wrote extracted data to secret.txt. No worries, no worries. This is something that happens in Linux. In Linux, when you're typing in passwords, you usually don't see anything appear. So you don't see the letters appear on screen as you type them, but this is to keep it secret from people who might be watching, because they might be able to tell something about your password if they see it's a long password or a short password. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what we learned in today's lesson, and then we'll finish the lesson, okay? So I think it was, let's see, which user was having trouble with... okay, user AD, right, was having trouble with their attack box. It said failed to connect to server. Also said that non-subscribed users... I'm really sorry that happened, but you should be able to try again like tomorrow, and maybe we can you can watch the lesson again and try out all the stuff that we did today. But let's review what we learned in today's lesson before we finish out today. Okay, so today we learned about steganography. So steganography is the process of hiding information in another medium. So for example, we hide a hidden message in a picture, or we embed pictures. We embed stuff in the pictures. Mr. Dieseldug says, steganography is very cool. Briefly touched it in college. Oh, great, great. Nice to see you here on YouTube chat, Mr. Dieseldub. And Ho DZ says, good job. Good jab. Thank you, thank you. Anyways, what else? So when dealing with digital files, steganography can be used to embed files or messages into different media files like pictures, videos, or audio files. Okay, so steghide. We talked a little bit about the steghide program, and the steghide program can be used to do steganography stuff with different media types, so pictures and audio files. And embedding files with steghide can use password protection for added security. So most of the time when we do these steganography challenges, there's going to be a password that we have to put in order to access the stuff that's been embedded with steghide. So what's next? So in the next digital forensics workshop, we're going to introduce network traffic analysis with the TriAcme platform. So this is a really big part of digital forensics. It's looking through network traffic. We'll talk a little bit about how network traffic works and how it moves around, and we'll also be talking about the programs that we use to the program that we use to take a look at these network packet capture files, and that's going to be in the next class. Okay, so for everybody on YouTube and Twitch, we're going to be taking a little bit of a break before we move to the next part of the stream, because I need to end the section of the stream with, well, we need to end the lesson with the students on Zoom. So I'm also streaming on Zoom, and I'm teaching a little class. We'll be back in about, I'm going to say something like 5 to 8 minutes, and then we'll start the next part of the stream then. But until then, we're going to be doing a little be right back screen. We'll be back in a few minutes, and please enjoy the music and enjoy the be right back screen. Okay, so it's just us Zoom people now.